Okay, we are live.
Are we live?
We are.
Can you see my head?
I can't see your
head. Is it in
head.
the shot?
It's not.
Hey everyone, welcome to Hack Shack Studios. We've got a lot of work to do, but we thought we'd hang out with you guys. In the meantime, I'm Thibert, 35-year comic book veteran, this wacky industry, working mainly for Marvel DC, but have done stuff for Image, a little company called Image, Dark Horse. I've done it. I've been around. And as always, Taylor Grosso, the talented Taylor Grosso.
Hello, everyone. I'll be here reading your chat today and trying to assess all the stuff we have to do.
My gosh, you guys, this has been a monumental day. And I think we only have about 10% of our to-do list checked off, Taylor.
If even that. Yeah, we were kind of doing like maintenance today of figuring out all the stuff that we have to do, and there's quite a bit.
Yeah, and Taylor's still a bit under the weather. Did you tell that story?
I did not, but I have been sick. It's true. I'm not feeling all that hot. I'm getting into the chat right now. I see a couple of you guys are here already. I'm going to turn down my sound so we don't get any feedback. And I got an ad, which means our monetization on this video is working.
Yay! And we're trying to get this image stuff worked out for you guys. So let me know if it's a little fuzzy or not. I think it's a lighting issue. So we're still trying to get the best picture we can for you.
Yeah, let us know what's going on. I'm looking at our feed right now. We did an adjustment to try to sharpen this up. I don't know if it helped at all, but yeah, I guess what you said. Let us know what you think of the new camera.
Yeah, but tell everybody what happened. You went to your favorite restaurant and...
Yeah, there's a restaurant I go to all the time called OK Poke that I really, really liked. And then I got some kind of intestinal infection after going there. And I've been there many a time, but I got incredibly sick for like 2 days. I'm still not like 100% yet, but it pretty much destroyed me.
You were hospitalized. You went to the hospital 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, I had to go to urgent care at like 5 a.m. and I was there forever.
You guys, Taylor is so kick-ass that she tried to get to work the day you were coming back from urgent care, right?
Yeah, I got home from urgent care, grabbed my stuff, and then I was heading to work and I couldn't make it. I was like halfway there.
And the thing is, she asked me, well, she didn't ask me. She said, you know, I'm going to be a little bit behind. And she just kind of briefly told me the story. And before I could answer her, she was already on her way here because my answer was pretty much just stay home, take care of yourself.
And I knew you were going to say that.
And she still tried anyways. So, yeah, so that's the kind of dedication she's bringing to this whole enterprise.
That's why you got to love what you do, because then you want to go even when you're vomiting.
Even when you're vomiting and pooping.
The very same.
Yeah, so I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're feeling a little better. She's not feeling 100%, but...
Thank you. I mean, I do feel a lot better since that first night. It was pretty intense. Jam Create says, that sucks. I work in an assisted living, and we had a GI virus going around that was awful.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it is not. It's not a good time.
Yeah, but yours is from... basically salmon, right?
Yeah, they said that like they said it was like a whatever infection, but I think it might have been, I guess I don't know if it's the same thing as food poisoning, but it was raw fish, so
I think it's a type of food poisoning, definitely.
Probably not something that you should. I know a lot of people hate sushi and stuff. I really like it, but I'll probably be off of that for quite a while. Rhaegar says, so guys, I heard that Goose the Cat is the best new co-star in the Captain Marvel early reviews. This sounds promising.
I think Goose the Cat is a, what do you call it, Skrull?
Is that the cat that shows up in the...
Yeah, I have a theory. I think it's the one that scratches, what's his name's eye out? Nick Fury's eye out.
I mean, because we talked about it in one of the streams that Nick Fury, like it almost looks like a claw mark or something, right? His scar.
Yeah, and they make sure that in the trailer they show him mainly interact with the cat.
Goose the cat. I didn't know that was his name.
They're using all the Top Gun references.
Art, do you have, I'm sorry, Edwin just asked. Hey, Edwin. Art, do you have a piece you want auction on Mike Miller's Friday Night Auction?
Yeah, Edwin, Mike did ask me, and I didn't bring them over.
Do you want me to grab it?
Yeah, if you could.
Where is?
They're in the top drawer of the art file.
I got them.
Yeah, I would love to, and Mike was very generous to invite me, and I guess this is going to be a thing every Friday night. Mike's going to auction off artists' work. I think a lot of drawn and quartered stuff they're going to do. But Mike asked if I wanted to see if I could auction these off. These are really high end, so I don't know how these are going to do on an auction. These are expensive pages. So these are from Trinity. These are Mark Bagley, Art Thibert pages. This was a weekly book, you guys. We were doing a book a week. So these are also up on my Art by Thibert site. So if you're part of the newsletter, then you have all the information. So yeah, so there's this page.
So you guys can get your hands on some Bagley Thibert pages if you tune into that.
Is this focused? Because it looks unfocused to me as well.
It looks unfocused to me on our display screen. Actually, it looks a little unfocused on mine as well.
This is really off-putting. We worked so hard. Okay, so I'm bringing more light to it, and it's still not working, right?
No, it still looks unfocused. We got this new HD webcam, and something's happening between it and YouTube.
The first day, it worked really good. And now it's kind of working like a poop cam.
Yeah, so we'll try to adjust it. I adjusted the sharpness in the actual settings, and it seems like they're not translating over at all.
So yes, to answer your question, Edwin, I would love to go on the show tonight.
So you guys tune in. You might be able to get some Bagley Thibert pages from the Trinity series. Let me see. Not even 5 minutes, and there's poop talk, says Lou.
Oh, yeah, it happens. If you hang out with me long enough.
We're just frustrated because we have a really fancy webcam now and still having the same issues.
Well, I don't feel too bad either because you started the poop conversation today.
That's true. I mean, it was topical.
Yeah, it happens.
No pun intended. So, by the way, speaking of poop talk and changing the subject.
Let's talk about
the opposite of poop talk. We have a new Kiss Corner today at 3.
Yes. So this is going to be a little bit of this was an impromptu, abbreviated Hacks Chat.
So you guys can tune in from this and just go straight into Kiss Corner afterwards.
I think that's what we're going to end up doing.
Yeah.
So we're doing it was 2 weeks ago now. It's hard. There's 4 of us, so it's hard kind of like making sure all of our schedules work. I think Kevin was out of town. Did he go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something?
I think he did. I know he went somewhere cool and like semi-Kiss related.
Yeah, and then Scott took a trip out of town as well. So left Taylor and I holding the bag.
So we felt weird kind of doing it without them.
Yeah, so we did. It was a 2-part. We did it's going to be the best and worst of Kiss merchandise. And so we did the worst merchandise. I would argue it's all pretty bad, but
some of it could fall into the best, I think.
It is Kiss, so I think depending on who you talk to, they'd also say the same about their music. But yeah, so we're going to do the best of Kiss merch today.
Yeah, so we have that. It's each one of our, I guess we all had 3 selections of what the best are.
Yeah.
and we'll sound off on that and battle to the death. I missed having, I don't know about you, Art, but I missed having Kevin there because he gets very spicy about these things.
Yeah, and the thing about Kevin is he gave us his choices, and he still ended up knocking it out of the ballpark, even though he wasn't hanging out with us.
He had good ones.
Yeah.
Edwin says, fantastic. We've been getting offers between $350 to $800 for Mike's Injustice pages.
Ooh.
If it's something you expect $1,000 plus for, we should feature it earlier in the week.
Okay, yeah, these are pretty expensive. They're probably like 5 to maybe upper 900s. But maybe I can find some pages from that same run that are more in that price range.
Yeah, those three I think are definitely upper tier.
Yeah, those Trinity splashes and main character pages go for quite a bit.
Let me see. I had a fanfic scene about Nick Fury's eye, the Black Widow program clones. Are you talking about fanfics in here? Did they ever actually give an origin, or like in-story origin about Nick Fury's eye scar?
Nobody had the original Nick Fury had it in the war.
Ooh.
Because that's one thing I never quite understood. Maybe somebody in the chat could explain. Okay, I understand how Captain America got to present day, but how did Nick Fury? In the original comics, I mean the movie, they explained it, but
yeah, because didn't he also have like an affiliation with like the Howling Commandos and stuff?
Yeah, and then all the Howling Commandos ended up becoming founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I like that as like that's pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like they just kind of kept reinventing him, and I think I heard someone say before that Nick Fury's like a mantle and not an actual person. So I guess his name, I always thought that was kind of weird. His name just gets like passed on to whoever gets that position.
Well, I've never heard that.
I think they started doing that when they started adapting the Samuel Jackson like.
Is that the Ultimate stuff?
Yeah, when they started like adapting that look, I guess just to keep all the Nick Furies in canon, all the different ones, it was like, oh, it's like a mantle, I guess.
Because he's like a legacy character.
Yeah, I don't know if it quite works. Oh, Art, what are you working on right now?
This is a patch for Black and White. Is it page 28?
I think so.
Can you see it? Man, I'm sorry. Look at the shadow cast across it. Yeah, we're trying to get this thing down. Let me see. I got the book here somewhere. Oh, here it is. So here's my big book of Black and White. So this is all the pages. I think we're up to page 38 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're making it through.
Progress.
I gotta find something for the Kiss video.
Taylor's multitasking.
I'm trying to prep us for our next.
Oh, it's early. Oh, here it is. Okay. So here's, yeah, this is 29 actually, page 29. So here's the first panel. It's done. Here is the panel I'm working on. This is kind of the layout, the sketch. And then this is, spoiler alert, last panel. So this panel I'm working on here will go here, and then 29 will be finished.
Yeah, Tommy wants to know what's happening in that panel.
Well, you're going to have to get the book. You're going to have to find out. So this is one of the new pages that we added. So thanks to all the Indiegogo pledgers that got us to the extra page point.
Yes, thank you. Without you, this page wouldn't exist.
Yes.
And remember, Black and White will be available. I think we said the last two videos. Black and White will be available until it goes to printing. So it'll be in demand until then, but don't wait.
And we're going to update you guys later on the progress and the delays in shipping and stuff like that. So we're going to post an update on Indiegogo probably after Kiss Corner. Like I said, we got our to-do list, and we're getting a little bit behind on the to-do list. Also, I don't know if you guys been following on Mike Miller's channel, but we've been working on this this movie idea. I want it on Golden Treads. Mike's got like Mystery Tank or something like that.
Lame.
And then Malin's got Tank Heist.
Lame.
I think it's a little nail on the head.
On Golden Treads is classic.
Yeah, thank you. You know where your bread and butter is buttered.
I forgot to mention, I don't know if I got to read it last chat, but somebody actually said in the comments, like, how is like Golden Treads coming?
Well, I don't know if you guys, like, I work like on a weird subconscious level. So when I'm sleeping sometimes, like story ideas and things will come to me. And so last night, I don't know, do we want to get into this?
We might as well. But they wanted it.
You wanted the best. Yeah, so I was just, yeah, it just kept me up. It kept nagging at me. And so one of the early casting for this was, I hope everybody's kind of on the same page, because I don't want to back explain the story. But I want Nick Nolte in the movie.
It has to be.
Yeah. So I guess the idea is that Mike Miller was reading an article about, I said that there was a guy in my neighborhood that owned a tank. And so then Mike said there was a guy in San Diego that stole a tank. And so then he read the article, and then I said, yeah, that would make a great movie. And so then we just started brainstorming on the movie. And somehow, I don't know how Gold came into it. They said that was my contribution, and I'll take it. I'll accept it. And so then it was going to be a heist, and I thought it was like it would be a gold heist or something like that. And then John Malin wanted it to be drugs. And I was like, drugs. Been there, done that. Like drug cartels, stuff like that.
The kids don't care about drugs. The kids like gold.
The kids want gold. And so, yeah, then we brainstormed. I think Elliot was there early on. And so we started brainstorming about ideas. And I don't remember their ideas because they were all, I guess they were okay. But then my idea started like just eating at me, and last night I came up with the whole story. This is an epic tale.
You have the full breakdown?
Yeah, beginning, middle, and end. First act, second act, third act.
All right, before you guys hear this, copyright Thibert 2019.
Yeah.
On Golden Treads.
And feel free, Taylor, to chime in and embellish. But it would start with that. I was thinking, because also I think Malin wants bankable stars, and so he wants The Rock. I think The Rock has been done to death.
Passe.
I'm already kind of done with The Rock, but he wants The Rock. And then who's the guy that was in with The Rock, the little guy in Jumanji?
Oh gosh, I forget his name. Chris Tucker?
No, Kevin.
Why'd I say Chris Tucker? That's so old.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart from Jumanji. Kevin Hart,
yeah. And so I'm thinking, I still like Kevin Hart. I don't necessarily want The Rock, because
Kevin Hart's like getting into serious roles though too. So
well, I want this to be a comedy. I think John wants it to be more of a drama. I want it to be a comedy. So I'm thinking it's a vintage tank. I want a vintage, like cool, like Second World War tank. They want something more high tech, but I want something a little older. And so what I was thinking is it might be some kind of vintage Second World War auction. This is how the movie would open up with like some thugs, like there's a police chase. Or it's not a police chase. There's just like a chase. So there's these two factions, and they obviously look like kind of like mafia or cartel types, and there's a big car chase. And so then the one car, and these are like you know how they do that in film, like they're both kind of bad guys, but one's for some reason looks like they could be more of a good guy than a bad guy.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah, and so the semi-good guys ditch the bad guys, but only for a brief moment when they go into this parking lot, and it's an auction. And so this would be we'd be cutting back and forth between these scenes, so it wouldn't stay on one all the time.
Oh man, you got even like art direction figured out.
Yeah. So then we got while this is going on, the tank, this cool vintage tank, goes up for auction, and so you have Kevin Hart. He's kind of like he's the money guy. Like he's the guy that's like he's representing whoever owns the tank at the auction, and they're trying to sell it. That guy's just trying to get out from under the tank. He's tired of it, and then
too many memories.
Yeah, and then there's this guy that's been maintaining the tank all these years, and that's Nick Nolte.
Ooh.
And Nick Nolte isn't necessarily like, because he's not old enough to have fought in those wars, but he's got like a crazy connection to like all this vintage battle stuff, and that maybe he comes from a family of like soldiers and things like that. So he's kind of well acquainted with all this stuff. And so
he knows the tank's past.
Yeah. And he knows the maintenance and how to drive it and all this other stuff. So he knows all the ins and outs of this tank. And so then nobody buys it at the auction.
Aww.
Nobody buys it. And then Kevin Hart's like, that's it. And then he turns. And so the only other one that cares about the tank is Nick Nolte. And he's like, well, it looks like, the scrapyard for the tank. And then Nick Nolte's like, come on, man. Because Nick Nolte's like, how can you? This thing is like, this amazing piece of history and stuff like that. There's got to be somebody that would want this thing. And it's like, man, get it through your brain. Nobody cares about this stuff. This thing was on its last adventure, or something like not so much adventure, but its last mission, however many years ago. The ship
trailer beat.
Yeah, well, it's a trailer beat, but it's foreshadowing. Like there's nothing more in the cards for this thing.
There's nothing left in this girl.
There's nothing left. Yeah, this thing's seen better days. And so then you just focus on Nick Nolte for a minute, and he's like, no, there's much more to this than just taking this to the scrapyard and whatever, or piecing it out, or whatever the heck they're going to do with it. And so then you cut to the cartel guys, and they're like, okay, man, what are we going to do with this stuff? And those guys want a Spanish cartel. So I guess because they want it in San Diego.
Oh,
so
okay,
the location San Diego, and I think the climax of it will end up in Mexico, because John and I figured it'd be the cheapest to set, to film this thing in Mexico.
That's true.
And we can blow things up because, it's Mexico and they don't care about it. At least that's what the consensus was. I'm not saying that they don't, but
fair.
Yeah. So anyway, so then we cut back to those guys and like, what are we going to do with all this, this merchandise? And they're like, I don't know, man, the people really need it. We can't let it fall into, to these guys' hands. It's like, so what are we going to do? So it's like, they see a bunch of shells, like just they're vintage, like tank shells that they put in the cannon and fire them off, right?
Oh yeah.
And they're all empty. So they start loading these things up with something, but you don't know what it is, right? And so then Nick Nolte's like, yeah, grumble, because that's what Nick Nolte does. And he's like, yeah, I'll put these shells back in, because they were part of the display of the tank. So they were like, they would show like, these are the shells that would fire in this tank, that kind of thing, like, dog and pony to sell the thing. But none of them were active. None of them were active shells. They were all hollow. And so then, they're on a big dolly because there's a lot of them, and he's kind of wheeling them back to put into the tank, because they're going to haul the tank away. And so then they're loading them up, him and Kevin Hart, and maybe there's another guy that's helping them, a younger guy that's got some muscle. And they're like, man, these things are heavier than I remember them. And then like, Nick Nolte's like, stop being a wimp and get him in there.
Those things are heavy, man. Those tanker crews are built.
Yeah, so they're loaded. They're putting, these shells back into the tank. So this is obviously all set up, right? And so then we cut back to those guys, the gangsters, and they just get shot up. Like they're escaping that place, like in the parking lot, and then the other cartel finally catches up to them. They just like mow them down, bop, 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 mow them down, right? It's like, then they look through the car. It's like, where is the stuff? Where is all the whatever? And then they can't find it, right? So then we cut back to Nick Nolte, and the tank is probably on some kind of loader. You know how they have those flatbeds, and they just kind of have a truck, and then they put the car on the flatbed and then drive it.
Yeah.
So the tank isn't driving on the street at this point. It's kind of in some kind of like flatbed, and so it's being hauled. And so Nick Nolte's driving, Kevin Hart's there, and maybe the one assistant guy, and he's like, it's like, I don't care, man. This thing still, I don't care what you say. This thing still is important. It's important to everybody, and this thing hasn't saw its last days. And then Kevin Hart's like, get the hint, man. Nobody wants this thing. This thing's dead. This thing can contribute nothing more. It had its moment in the war. And so then out of nowhere, like that same cartel come up, and they're like, pull over. And they're like, what? And it's like, get this thing over. And they're like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then it's like they aim a gun at him and like, pull it over. And then Nick Nolte's like, no one aims a gun at me. And so then he swerves his truck into the cartel and kind of knocks it away, just like temporarily. And so then the truck pulls over. And like, what the hell was that? What the hell? They're all freaking out. Kevin Hart's like, hey man, what's going on? What's going on, man? What's going on? And so then we cut back to the cartel, and they're kind of like, they're coming to, because they just got shoved off the road, and they're like, oh man, now those guys are going to pay for this. And so then we cut back, and those guys got them dead to rights, right? They're just like, all they have to do is squeeze off the trigger.
Oh no.
And then you realize, wait a minute, where's Nick Nolte? It's just Kevin Hart and this young guy. And then
guy played by Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yes. Tom Holland's going to be in all my movies.
He's a good nervous person.
Yeah, so he's like, oh God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then Kevin Hart's like, I don't know, man. We're going to die is what we're going to do. And so then they're just about to squeeze off, like, pump these guys full of lead. And then out of nowhere, boom, the tank comes out. Boom, it just like runs over the cartel car, like just mows it over, and then just like out of the hatch opens up. This is so good, you guys. It's like as Nick Nolte is like, get in the tank, and they're like, oh, okay, because they're not going to argue with him now because
he's got a tank,
and these guys are going to kill him, right? So then they start driving, and so now they're just kind of driving this tank aimlessly to save their lives, right? Because they're like, now what are we going to do? Like,
they're on the run.
Yeah, we're in this tank. What the hell's going on? So they have no context to what's going on. They have no idea what's happening. The viewer kind of has some kind of inkling, like that there's, like, oh, maybe there's something in the shells, and that's what these gangsters want. So, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, Rhaegar is trolling you in the chat. He says, this movie needs Tom Hardy, and he needs to have the most lines in the movie. The more he talks, the better a movie is.
Oh, no. This is going to be a good movie. This is going to be Mad Max, Fury Road 2.
Hey!
Yeah, but come on. He wasn't the best.
He was the worst part of one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys don't interrupt.
Has a tank.
Don't interrupt me, man. This is hard for me to do and work.
Go on.
All right, I gotta stay focused. Okay, so and you guys, partially, I'm making this up right now too. So this isn't all in the dream.
So we see the hatch open. Nick Nolte says, "Get in."
Yeah, well, they're already driving. Keep up, Taylor.
That's right.
They're already driving. They're just like, what's going on? What's going on? Why are those guys open up on us? Why do they do this? And so they're just trying to figure it out. And so then Nick Nolte's kind of like, you know what? They're going to catch us too. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, this thing's low on fuel. And so they're like, what? Because those guys really wanted a gas station scene. And so they want a gas station scene, but I want the gas station scene to have a Scarlett Johansson cameo. And I want her, for some reason, she's like Jersey Shored out. And she's like playing with her hair, and she's like chewing on gum. And she's like, can I help you fellas? You know, it's like, that's a big vehicle in there. It's going to take a lot of octane. And it's like, yeah, whatever. It throws his credit card down there. It's like, you know, we're going to fill her up. And so Nick Nolte knows how to drive this thing. He knows what kind of fuel. He knows everything about it. So they fuel this thing up. And just about this time, you know.
Which, by the way, you can run them on 490 gallons of diesel fuel.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured, diesel fuel. Yeah, somebody was saying jet fuel.
They can use jet fuel. Many of them do.
Yeah. And so so anyway, they're pumping the gas in this thing. So it's just kind of a weird scene where, you know, they're just in like a normal place, and, you know, they're fueling a big tank. And I just think it'll look funny. And so
the chat demands Margot Robbie instead of ScarJo.
Okay, I'm not locked into Scarlett Jo, but Margot Robbie isn't much of a stretch in this. Like, that's kind of her Harley Quinn character.
Yeah, I agree with your Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I just want Scarlett Johansson to play kind of a white trash kind of character.
It suits her.
I think it'd be funny. For a change, she'll be, you know, properly casted. Sorry. Instead of playing an Asian character.
Sorry, chat.
Yeah. And so anyway, one of them's like, you know, I heard one of those cartel guys mention this thing about like two warring factions in Mexico. And it's like, Mexico, and they say, yeah, the El whatevers and the whatever. And so then you know, the young guy's like, I know who those guys are. You know, maybe we have Tom Holland play a Mexican kid. We gotta have somebody that knows like all about this stuff. And so,
I mean, he could be.
Yeah. So then, you know, he's like, yeah, the whatevers and the whatevers. It's like two factions of the same house. It's like, what? Yeah, they're warring like it's like a feud, like a family feud type situation. And come on down. Yeah, the Grosso family. And so yeah, so then he's like, and then oh god, what it would be like, Kevin Hart's like, well, we gotta go to the authorities, and it's like, and then Nick Nolte's like, the authorities can't do anything here, man. It's like there's only one way out. We gotta take this tank to the cartel. And they're like, what? Yeah, we're gonna give them what they want. And then it's like, what are you talking about? Give them what they want. Yeah, we're gonna give them hell.
Ooh.
And so then the guys had somehow where they drive back into Mexico and they like bust through the wall, you know, like a wall as like some kind of like symbolism. But I don't know about that. But
trailer beat.
Let's just say it's still on the table here. And so somehow we came up with a monster. Like, my thing was like one of those old school crash up derby things.
Ooh.
Like somehow the tank goes through the crash up derby and then, you know, ends up taking first prize. And
as it goes through.
Yeah, because it smashes all the cars. But then I think Elliot was saying like maybe monster truck is more contemporary. So then we do a monster truck, and basically the tank just takes out all the monster trucks on the way to, you know, Mexico.
But monster trucks are so high up, and like, you know, get to have all the cool derby cars get destroyed. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. But it would be fun to see a tank just kind of plow over like a monster car. And then the guys had like another idea. I think it was Elliot's as well. Since they're going down San Diego way, they could plow through the San Diego Comic-Con. I think that would be fun. But I had a joke that I wasn't able to express last night because it got off the hook. Too many people talking. Yeah. And so I think that it would be fun for all the comic book fans to have, like, when they plow through, like maybe Tom Holland says, man, you know what? I thought there'd be more comic books at San Diego Comic-Con. All there are is a bunch of lame celebrities. Yeah, that would be fun. So anyway, they plow through the wall. They're in Mexico now. And I think at some point we would probably have cut back and established this cartel. And so John wanted Antonio Banderas as one of the cartel guys, and that maybe Cheech Marin, like I want to do it as a family. So maybe Cheech Marin is like the dad, the patriarchy. Is that the right word?
The patriarch.
Yeah, he's the patriarch of the family. Yeah, thanks. And so then the next down is Antonio, and then Mike wants Jack Black. And the only reason I want Jack Black is because I want Jack Black to play a Hispanic guy again.
He's pretty much the same Nacho Libre character.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it'd be hilarious. And so then you find out that there's a little bit of a rivalry between Antonio Banderas and Jack Black's character.
The only time you'll ever hear that in a sentence.
Yeah, I think it would be funny because, you know, like they do this sometimes with kings. Like there's the king, and then there's his lame brother, and then the brother's always doing stupid things to try to take control of the crown from his brother. You know what I mean? But he's obviously not equipped to rule. But I want to do it the opposite. I want like Jack Black to seem like the lame brother, and for Antonio Banderas to be the strong one, to have the leadership and everything, and be like good for the family. But what you find out is that there's kind of these freedom fighters in Mexico. So I'm just going to spoil the plot now. Okay, there's some freedom fighters in Mexico, and that their like lineage goes back to ancient like Mayans and Aztecs and stuff like that. Because I always think that's the most fun part of like Mexican heritage and everything. So then, what this gold is, the gold was packed in the shells, you guys. And so what that one cartel faction was doing is they weren't a cartel; they were freedom fighters. And so what they want is they want to give that Aztec gold back to its people, so that the people can fight the cartel. And that Jack Black is one of the main guys that's trying to get this gold back to the people. But he's keeping it secret from his father and his son and his brother, Antonio Banderas.
Interesting.
So are you with me so far?
I'm with you on this.
Are you with me so far? So,
right through this is Danny Trejo should be in it.
Oh yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, he's what was his
Machete.
Name? Machete, yeah. We'll get all those guys, like all those guys from Dusk Till Dawn, like Selma Hayek and all those guys. We get them all back, you know.
I'm on board.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome, and they'll be like the first family, you know, in Mexico, kind of thing, and. So then, you know, I don't know what happens next, but they're driving through Mexico. They're seeing the Mexican people. They're seeing that there's a lot of poverty, and then there's that maybe some of it's perpetrated by like a corrupt government or this cartel. And so they finally get to the house where the cartel is. And so now we're going to have our big showdown. And so then it's like, gosh, you know what? I don't have this part figured out, you guys. So it would have to be somehow that there's going to be a big battle, but that because the tank has to finally, there has to be at least one shell that's active, and they have to shell that cartel's house, right?
Oh yeah, that's got to happen.
Right. Okay, so Taylor, help me out here. I'm stumbling around because I don't have quite an ending, but let me just kind of nutshell it, and then maybe we can flesh it out. Taylor's really good at this, you guys. Pressure's on.
Oh no.
Pressure's on. Okay, so the thing is, it seems like Jack Black's on board. Like, we got to kick these guys' butts. You know, they're going to jeopardize our way of life. But at the same time, maybe he's made a phone call to the rebels, and then he realizes that these guys are on his side, that they're trying to bring the gold back because they know the story. They want to get the gold to the people as well. And so then all I can think of is that somehow the tank is holding its own, but then the freedom fighters come in and help them get out. And then with the aid of the freedom fighters, and then maybe they're able to armor up or weapon up the tank.
Ooh.
That they get out of there, and then finally they give the gold to the freedom fighters.
Because the problem is too, since the shells are full of gold, they can't actually shoot those, right?
Right, and that's where the joke would be, because no one knows what they want. So even you know, our heroes that are driving the tank, they don't know what it is that they're transporting yet, and they're not even really sure where it's at. So then what I was thinking is when they go to load the shells up, like they're gonna do battle, that when they put it in, like this gold bar goes flying out of the shell, and they're like, "Holy shit!" You know what I mean? They're shelling gold bars at the house.
What was that about?
Yeah, it's like, that was a gold bar, right? And so then Jack Black, I think that would probably be the reveal, right? That would
because they have to find out, I think, by shooting it, and then they're like, "Was that like?" It didn't seem like standard artillery.
Yeah, it's like, I think that thing had a gold shimmer to it.
And then you get the shot of Tom Holland's scared face being like, "Holy shit, we're packing gold.
We're packing some serious gold. These are treads of gold."
Ooh.
And so
El Dorado.
Yeah, El Dorado. Yeah, it's basically like the road to El Dorado, kind of with the Aztec gold. So you have anything to chime in? You want to plus this idea, Taylor?
Well, I'm trying to think of, is it going to end happily for them? Because I know that the true tale of the man who stole the tank did not end happily. Sadly, he was gunned down.
Yeah.
But this sounds like it could possibly be a good ending for like Nick Nolte helping these rebels, and maybe they all start a new life in Mexico or something.
Yeah, and the tank is actually then becomes the rebels' like mascot. It becomes like their rallying cry. You know what I mean? So the tank finds a new home, because the tank is as much of a character as anybody else in the story. So the tank basically finds, you know, a home.
But does the tank come home? Is it safe with the rebels, or is it better coming home to America?
No, I think that it just finds a new battle to fight. A new worthy cause.
That's true. You don't want to ever really retire a tank.
Yeah, that's just sad. And so I think maybe to give Jack Black a happy ending, that maybe we have that the Cheech Marin character. By the way, I want Cheech Marin to be married to Salma Hayek. They want Salma Hayek to be with Antonio Banderas. But
no,
I don't like doing the obvious, man.
She's got to be with Cheech.
Yeah. So then Cheech Marin is like, he finally just mans up. You know, because he's kind of old and docile, and he basically let Antonio Banderas take like the leadership of the gang, and so then he just goes, "No," he said, "My son," and then Antonio thinks he's talking about him. He's like, "No, my other son. You are now in charge of the cartel."
Because he knows he's sending him in the right direction, because he's for the people.
Yeah, he's like, "We were always for the people. Way back when." And so then he tells his backstory about that he was kind of a freedom fighter and stuff like that. So Jack Black is actually being more like his dad than Antonio Banderas. But you think Antonio Banderas is being like the dad. You know what I mean? He
seems like the son that's more suited to him, but really he's the more worthy because he has the same kind of heart. And you see why Salma Hayek fell for him to begin with.
Exactly. How do you get a hot chick like that?
He's got to have a cause. He's got to be strong.
Yeah. All right. There's my On Golden Treads.
Ray Thulu wants to know when the Indiegogo for On Golden Treads launches. And Humphrey wants to know, will this be a comic book as well as a movie?
All right, you guys. Don't tease, man, because I'm serious as a heart attack. I didn't get any sleep last night coming up with that. So that's a first act, second act, third act, because the third act is like right before they end up launching the gold bars, man. That's a good cliffhanger.
We could film this stuff in Mexico for cheap too, all the stunts.
Yeah, and we should use real gold.
And then that'll be the most expensive part. It has to be real gold for the authenticity.
Yeah.
And then the best part is we get to keep the tank. That's one of my dreams.
I want to be second unit, Taylor. You and I can be second unit. So we'll be like, second unit is usually stunts. So we'll get to like hang out with all the cool guys that are doing the tank stunts.
It's super hot in there though.
Well, we don't have to hang out all the time.
I think we should.
Or since we're producers, we could have like AC built in. Because that's what, those guys do.
I mean, it's pretty intense in there.
Okay, so you guys, okay, we're not teasing now. How much do you think we could get in an Indiegogo fundraiser?
What do you guys think? Well, and what would you want to see for on Golden Treads? James Hayes says, "Really? Do we want to give Jack Black a happy ending?" Yes.
I don't know. To make Mike Miller a happy man, we have to.
And then the best part is Mike can dub some of his lines if it doesn't work.
Yeah, because Mike sounds just like Jack Black.
He totally does. Newer tanks actually have a sort of AC, says Title. Yeah, but this has to be, I think we've agreed, as Art said, it needs to be like a World War II tank.
Well, you see the metaphor, right? The metaphor is like that also Nick Nolte is past his prime.
It's old.
So he's kind of, the tank is an extension of him, and he's an extension of the tank. So the reason he holds on to so much retiring the tank is because he himself, once the tank is gone, he has no purpose.
Aww.
Yeah, because his whole life has been restoration of the tank, taking care of the tank, looking after the tank.
That's why it's got to find a new home.
Yes. Gosh, this works.
If Ethan promotes you could make, did you say 0K? I think you meant to book 50K. If you learn to promote you, the sky is the limit.
Yeah, but 50K is gonna like,
for a movie that's like,
that's not even gonna pay for like Cheech Marin.
That'll like get us like 20 seconds of Tom Holland.
It won't even get us that.
We'll see. No, it won't. Will he be stronger than life too? Says Title about, are you talking about Cheech? Newer, let's see. Taylor should build a killdozer. I really do want a decommissioned tank. Rhaegar says this movie needs more Charles Dance.
Who's Charles Dance?
He's the actor. He's been in a couple of things, but what I mostly know him from is he's the evil father of the oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. He's in Game of Thrones. He's one of the older guys.
I originally wanted it to be a buddy film with two old guys. Like, they were also talking about, I think this makes a better movie, but Kevin Hart is good for like some variety. Also, Kevin Hart's a small guy, and Nick Nolte is a monster of a human being. But they were talking about...
he works against Nick Nolte for sure.
Yeah, but they were talking about, what's that guy with Busey?
Yes.
Like get like Busey in there, like, so you get like this crazy old guy like with Nick Nolte, and they're like ah, so it's like kind of like an older Odd Couple.
I like that. I feel like, I don't know, Nick Nolte might have more chops than Gary Busey at this point, though. Gary Busey's kind of nutty.
Yeah, but he could be like the loose cannon, like, let's just kill him.
Ray makes a good point. If you got Gary Busey attached to this project, money will roll in.
Seriously?
I think that it would be so weird that it would work. And wonder if like it turned out like what if Gary could bring like the heartache to it too, though? Like if he had the capacity. I think he could bring it. Ray says every movie needs more Busey. Let's see.
I don't know. Two old guys is it's a little hard to sell with the idea, though.
I think you need a balance. Dolph Lundgren needs to be a villain.
You know, Dolph Lundgren in that Aquaman movie is superb. Like, I didn't even realize that was Dolph Lundgren.
I didn't even know he was in the movie. It kind of wasn't. At least I didn't notice it. I didn't think it was being spread around very much.
So how much do you think we can generate, Taylor?
Like crowdfunding wise, or if we started pitching this around?
Maybe a little of both.
I think. Well, wait. Do you have a director's vision in mind?
Well, one of the things the guys were pitching, and I think this could be our only chance, is Robert Rodriguez. Because he knows how to make these movies, these type of movies, on a shoestring budget.
I could see that. And he has connections. I think enough people would go for a movie just with his name.
Yes. On Golden Treads, you guys.
But what if we got, well, Robert Rodriguez is not a bad one.
You mean you're thinking of alternate directors?
I'm thinking of like alternate directors. But it's very difficult to not think of like goofy directors.
What's wrong with goofy directors?
Well, like all the goofy directors I can think of right now are directors I don't like.
Okay. You make a good point.
Like I can't think of like a good, because like let's be real, like directors nowadays in like the modern age, there's not a lot of directors that are both goofy and also like good. Like I haven't seen like a movie with, because it seems like it would be kind of.
Well, give me an example of what you think goofy and good is, like a director.
Goofy and good, I guess more like a RoboCop type tone, like Big Trouble Little China, maybe even like Romancing the Stone type thing.
Okay.
And like if I feel like none of the modern directors have that kind of tone where there's kind of like genuine like heartfelt moments within like really weird movies. I feel like they're just all the way goofy now.
James Gunn.
Maybe James Gunn. He's gonna need a job.
We can get him for cheap.
We probably
and
could.
He loves the Mexican people.
Roger Corman could get the funding, says Ray Thulu.
Yeah. Did he do a Kickstarter? Am I thinking of the right guy?
That's what I was. Let me see. Didn't Roger Corman? Oh no, didn't he do Fantastic Four?
God, am I getting him mixed up with?
Oh, he did Death Race back in the day.
Yeah. No, he would be good.
Yeah, if he was. I don't even know if he's still around.
I thought that he had done a Kickstarter recently.
I mean, Roger Corman's like, I think he's like in his 90s.
Yeah, he'd be perfect then. It's the old guy film.
He'd understand. Oh, he did Little Shop of Horrors and stuff too, right? Yeah, like those are the kind of directors, I guess, that have like that good kind of tone, but there's not any modern directors that I feel like capture that.
We could give them all points on the back end.
I mean, I feel like we could do this on an indie budget.
You know, as long as we all got like paid up front.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only.
Because now, how many producers do we have? Like Brian came on, and I don't know about Kyung Lee, because that guy wasn't really given much.
Well, you just pitched the whole story.
He was pretty quiet. Yeah, but those other guys kind of contributed to get us here. So definitely be Elliot, definitely be Mike Miller, definitely be John Malin.
And then you.
And then you. Brian contributed a little bit yesterday because Brian came up, I think it was Brian, with an Apache helicopter.
Ooh.
So we came up with an idea that the helicopter maybe is the cartel, and that maybe that that gas station scene has an Apache helicopter. And so then I was like, what about the Apache helicopter becomes the sequel?
Ooh, that's their next adventure.
Yeah, the next adventure.
So it's like the two things he needed to sell in the collection are the helicopter and the tank that he didn't want to sell. They're the only things left over.
Yeah. We could make Busey be the mysterious guy that owns the tank.
Or the guy the friend that owns the helicopter that comes in at the last minute with the rebels.
Yeah.
Because I would like to see Gary Busey in a helicopter wearing like...
He's got a headset on, he's yelling down.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I'm going to clear the way.
That would be pretty cool.
Just a bunch of machine gun fire. Bop, 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 bop. He's all like gritting those big teeth of his. Ah! I never did like these cartels.
Let me see. In part 3 can be a space shuttle, says title.
Ooh, yes. We'll launch those guys out to space.
Let's see. Busey worked on an independent film about Mad Men, Allard, and I believe Allard was friends with Robert Rodriguez. Oh my gosh, so if you got Busey, you'd have the connection.
This is coming to, well, we already have like all that, the Hispanic connection, because all those people have been in all those Robert Rodriguez. The guy, the Machete guy.
So you could get all of them.
And Cheech Marin. I do want Tommy Chong in it. Those guys nixed the Tommy Chong thing, but
why?
I don't know. I guess they don't think he's A-list.
I feel like, I don't know. Why do people prefer Cheech to Chong? That's not fair.
Yeah.
They both contributed. Let's see. Yes, Roger Corman did a Fantastic Four movie, but it was never released. However, you can watch the full film here on YouTube. Yes, it's very weird.
Yeah, that's the one where they actually, you can see somebody stretching Mr. Fantastic's arm from off panel or off screen.
And the Thing costume is like really, really bad. I remember that as well. I had to take a phone call. Missed a lot. Did you guys get my text earlier about Nick Fury? Says D Geek Art.
We talked about Nick Fury, yeah.
We did, but we're well beyond now.
Oh yeah, we're on golden treads, baby.
So really, this could be an affordable project.
I don't know if we can get like A-list actors though.
But do we need them?
Well,
we might have to nix Tom Holland.
I think the movie hinges on Tom Holland.
What we need to do to get Scarlett Johansson, since she's expensive, is get her to start dating someone that's on the set. So then she feels morally obligated to make the cameo in the movie to support his career.
What if we make it seem like somehow we tie it to an actual cause in Mexico?
Ooh, she'll do that.
Yeah, so then she can get all like, we're doing this for the native, Mexican people that have been downtrodden by these cartels and blah, blah, blah. And somehow we'll blur the line between reality and fantasy. And then this movie will seem like it's important, like Black Panther.
And then we'll get an Academy Award.
And then we'll get nominated for an Academy Award and win.
We can tell.
Oh my God, could you see the comic skaters going... John would finally have to, and you, Taylor, you'd have to finally get in front of the camera so people would know what it looked like. And you'd go up, we'd walk the red carpet.
Not unless I go up with Scarlett Johansson.
What if she escorted you like one of those, you know how like you lock arm in arm?
Aw, I'd
kind of like
that.
the Wizard of Oz skip when they're going down the yellow brick road.
I'll miss you most of all, Nasser.
Yeah, but you're like walking that way with Scarlett Johansson.
That would be cool.
Oh, I got it. I got the scene, Taylor. All right. So you get it first, and then you're kind of like, I don't really feel at home right now. You just kind of have that look like you're lost. And then for some reason, you're way closer to the stage than Scarlett Jo. And so then she comes up from behind you, and she just kind of hooks her arm into yours, and she's like, this way.
And then I scream, like, #MeToo. Get off of me.
Oh, my gosh.
And
I ruined this precious moment.
And I ruined her career.
You're just like, don't touch me.
I was just trying to comfort you because you're nervous. I didn't say that you could.
I didn't give you permission.
No, I would accept it. Sometimes non-A-list actors put more heart into it, says D Geek Art. Sometimes. I don't know what to say to that.
We should do like just casting from like people that are in Comicsgate.
Ooh.
Like we do open auditions and just get like whoever wants to audition. Ooh.
But the sad
because if they're funding it, they could be in it.
It's like tier 12. Be the star of the movie.
And none of us can use our real name because most of you guys are scared that like the liberal side of the world is going to persecute you. I
mean, rightfully so. They definitely do that.
Yeah. So then everybody on the in the credits is like model 318.
Anonymous number 1.
Anonymous
2.
number 1. Ray, what is it? Ray Thulu? What is
Ray Thulu?
And then Durakin and
like Christ Energetics on sound.
It's like none of these guys have real names.
They're real to me.
And for best sound design, Christ Energetics.
Everybody claps.
He comes down with those black bars over his eyes.
Ooh, we gotta wear those black bar sunglasses. I always thought those were cool.
Yeah, we're all hiding our identity like KISS members in the 70s.
Oh man, speaking of KISS members, they're getting antsy now. Scott's like, "Are we still on for 3?"
Are they listening? Are they listening? You know what? They're listening because Scott right now is talking to his
He's typing this up.
His agent. I got a great idea. It's called On Golden Treads.
If we see anything like this coming out,
I will kill.
You heard at the beginning, copyright.
Like I said, I didn't get any sleep last night.
You know what? Rightfully so, because if not, On Golden Treads wouldn't exist. What if we did like, well, no, it has to be the medium of film, I think. So say, what if it was an animated thing? But that would be kind of strange.
Strange is my middle name. I like where you're going.
Dr. Love is in the chat. He says, good evening, most awesome people.
They call me
Dr. Love.
Hey, Dr. Love, you got to tune in at 3 o'clock for Kiss Corner.
We're a little bit...
You know, I think we should just go long on here and leave Kevin and Scott, hanging. We
can't break their precious hearts. Besides, I got all their graphics queued up.
Did you get my, I almost spilled it. Did you get my A-list from...
I'm not sure if I did.
Spell it out.
I think there was a lot of crossover.
Oh shoot! I wrote that right on the thing.
Oh no! I don't think so.
Oh no, man! That's my number one.
Which one is that? Oh, I'll grab them. Because I know I had crossover. I have another one.
We'll see how good that microphone is if they actually heard me say that. Oh, what he said was...
No, you got this Blue Yeti does pick up everything, but if you heard it, you better not spoil it.
Yeah, and apparently this stupid camera is all out of focus.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. There's some kind of disconnect between this camera and going through this YouTube stream. Because we set the settings on the camera itself, and then it seems like they don't really compute at all once it goes to the stream.
Yeah, it kind of is in focus when we're not on Hangouts, but as soon as we go live, it gets all wacky.
Yeah.
We gotta give time for a shameless plug segment of the show, Taylor.
That's right, we do.
We have 10 minutes.
We have a lot of things we need to plug. We got a lot going on at Hack Shack Studios right now.
It's never a dull moment.
That there isn't. Comic Arts Pro Secret Star Wars Pop Culture and Diversity or thoughts of this producer. Oh, I see what you're talking about. All the long the
credits, yeah, for the Academy Awards, yeah.
I've been waiting my whole life for a movie to have Busey, Dafoe, and Walken in some scene, each trying to be the craziest. If On Golden Treads had such a scene, it would be the biggest hit ever.
Oh my gosh.
That would be amazing. Especially when they all get erratic and start fighting inside the tank. That could be the scene to sell the entire movie.
I want to do this. This has been nagging at me, and I think I pitched the other day, but the guys just nixed it. If we do 3 characters... I think it'd be funnier if there were 3 old guys now that I'm thinking about it. Or if we did it with Tom Holland, is that one of the guys in the tank is gay. And so you know how it's like tight knit, like in these tanks, there's not a lot of room, right? And so then one of them's always like, what are you doing bumping up against me? You're making me feel funny. But like it'd be funny, it'd be funnier if it was one of the old guys.
I think it's got to be one of the old guys because he's got to be crotchety about it.
Yeah, but we don't say that he's actually gay, but it's just like there's things that's like getting kind of excited, feeling kind of funny. My pants are getting tight.
I think Busey could do that well.
Yeah. Who let that young Tom Holland in here?
Busey would be too scary. Maybe if it was Dafoe, if he was in the movie.
Oh, and Dafoe is not scary?
I don't think so.
Oh, Dafoe is just as creepy, man.
You think so? Busey seems more unhinged.
Yeah, I guess. But either way, man, those guys, like saying that aimed at Tom Holland.
Yeah, I guess either way.
It's pretty frightening.
I think that Tom Holland could play off of it though and just be innocent about it.
And then it turns out that Tom Holland's like thinking the same. Like, yeah. I never thought about breaking one of these old guys' hips.
Geez, sir.
geez, sir.
Tom Holland's very Morty-esque. Like, oh, geez.
Geez, why'd you do? Oh my gosh,
Ooh.
we're all gonna die.
Live action Rick and Morty with Tom Holland and Gary Busey.
Ooh.
Christ Interject says, you might try another light on the table to keep the focus, but it's likely Hangouts. There are other stream programs to use instead.
Yeah, because check this out, okay, Christ. I could move these lights in because I can bring more light in because I closed all the drapes and everything, and it almost like it blurts out the detail. But you guys look at this and tell me, because it looks horrible on our screen. But if this is better, then I'll bring more light in. But
maybe we'll try a different streaming service for this and see if it makes a difference. Because I think it definitely is a Hangouts related thing. Because we have adjusted the camera in the actual camera app. Someone said to try a plugin, which I think that Google Hangouts must be kind of incompetent if you have to install plugins to make the picture clear. But that's just me.
What are plugins?
They're like basically things you have to download separately from the app to make the app work in a certain way.
Oh, okay. Well, if we have to, we have to, because we got the computer, we have all the technology here now. We just have to make it work at its optimal best,
Yeah, we got an HD cam, not for it to look blurry.
Yeah.
James Hayes says, it looks fine on my screen. I think you guys are fretting too much.
Oh. That's great news.
I mean, I'll check this after. To be honest, though, on my I'm watching it on my phone right now. It still looks just as blurry to me, but we're just trying to check all of our options here because, like I said, we got this HD camera, and it seems a shame to have an HD camera if it's going to have a bad picture.
Yeah, and to put all this effort into.
Light amount always affects the cameras. Usually the more the better. Yeah, that's what we thought, but it doesn't seem like it's making a difference.
Yeah, when we first did this, like we get the morning sun from this side here. And it was just blaring in, and then I had all the lights, and then I had all the shutters up, or what are those called? Over the windows. And there was a ton of light in here, and you couldn't even see the image. This was just all white. You couldn't see any detail on it at all. So we were thinking that it was too much light and it was just blurting out the detail.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll try all the above, and thanks for trying to help out. And we didn't do our monetized super chats and.
That's right. You may notice that we have super chats. I know it's a little late in the game, but super chats do always help with studio upgrades like these. And if you ever want to drop us one, it is greatly appreciated. It took us a while to get monetized, but we are here. Liking the video always helps. Sharing, subscribing helps out the channel. But those super chats really keep us going here and help us stay in this place of creating content for you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. And should we do quick shameless plugs and then call it a day?
Yeah, let's do it.
So just to recap, you guys, this is a patch for Black and White. So Black and White is our Create Our Own book, and it's up on Indiegogo. It's in the shop right now, so please check it out. There's going to be a link in the description. And so this is one of the patches. And so these are patches as well. So what we thought we would do is make some of these patches available to you guys on the Indiegogo. So we just put this patch right here up. So one of the things is I always like souvenirs for these Indiegogos and Kickstarters that I support. And I just think that this would be like a pretty cool souvenir for the Remastered. So basically, these are replacement panels for the original comic book. So it's just this one, right, Taylor?
That's the only one.
It's not this one, right?
Yeah, that's the only one we have listed at this time on the campaign that is available. We might release more in the near future.
Yeah, so this is a 9x10. It's a pretty big piece of artwork. And so we don't have it with a book. We just have it in a tier by itself. And so if you're interested in picking up some original artwork from Remastered, black and white Remastered, then this might be your best bet, because we did have the original pages up, but they're very expensive. So we thought, to get you guys some original artwork, maybe we could let you have access to the patches. And this way you can get some original artwork. And this is very, very indicative of the comic book. Like, you're not going to get anything like this with any other comic, you know, these patches and stuff like that. So
you're getting a piece of the book.
Yeah, this patch right here, just to show you real quick, excuse me, is
there it is.
This patch right here. So it's for this page number 10 in the book. So this is a brand new page. This wasn't in the original series. So these are all new panels, and then this is the last panel on page 10, and that's the one that we're offering. So check it out, you guys. It's up on the Indiegogo site right now. Black and white Indiegogo. The link's in the description. And we have, real quick, I know we're pressed on time. We are going to do this. What's the date on this, Taylor?
Oodles and Doodles, we are slated for, I believe, February 12th.
Yes. So this is why we were behind schedule, because we were brainstorming the Oodles and Doodles, or Oodles of Doodles campaign. This is my art book, and I'd like to get it into some more people's hands. So what did you say it was, the 12th of this month?
The 12th or the 13th. I believe we're settling on the 12th, preferably.
Yeah. So we're going to Indiegogo this bad boy. It's a 52-page art book, and it has 35 years worth of my work. Hey, there's Taylor. So yeah, it's got pinups, commissions, covers, prelims, sketches, covers,
hardcover, 52-page,
commissions, quick doodles. It's got some licensing stuff here. It also has some future character stuff, like black and white is in here. I don't want to show too much. Some other stuff in here too that we may be doing later, Indiegogo wise, create your own stuff. So yes, so we should wrap this up. You got a party shot, Taylor?
Yeah, don't forget to tune into Kiss Corner coming up next. We're going to set that up right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Remember, black and white will be available till we go to print. You can visit the link in the description to see the campaign and get yourself a piece of original artwork like this patch you see right here. Thanks for joining us, and I will see you in Kiss Corner.
Yeah, we'll see you in about 5 minutes on Kiss Corner, you guys.